Hey, I am that one pundit, also known as Ross, and today we'll be making a tier list of the songs in Neo The World Is With You. Here they are, wow. But before we do that, I'm going to do like a little channel update thing. So, you may have noticed that, like, Neo came out, and I haven't really done much. Well, that's because it came out like 2 weeks ago, but also because I've been working on Poorly Animated Part 2, and it's already like half the length of the original script, and I'm only on day 2, so it'll be a big one and will probably take a while. And since that one's taking a lot of time, I have 2 other videos in the works that are not going to take as much time, except for they require other people, and those people are busy right now. So, you're getting this to fill in the time. I would make a review of Neo The World Is With You, but judging by my hoodie and the content of my channel, you can probably already guess what I think about it. So let's actually begin with the tier list. The first song, Wander Around Shibuya. Okay, Wander Around Shibuya is like the opening. So Wander Around Shibuya is the opening song for Neo. It's like the It's So Wonderful of Neo The World Is With You. And honestly, it's alright. Like, it's not like insane, but I'd say it's like a solid B tier. I like it, but could be a bit specialer. I don't know what I'm saying, but it just doesn't have that flair that It's So Wonderful has. It will probably grow on me once, like, there's more time between Neo's release and now. It was like that for It's So Wonderful too. Like, I didn't really like it that much when I first heard it, but now I like it a lot. The second song, New Game. New Game is the song that plays during the opening, in which, like, New Game is a song that plays during the opening, and it's actually pretty good. It's like a compilation of a bunch of other songs in the game. So you have a bunch of parts from, like, other songs that will appear, even Twister. And it's probably like the most iconic one from before release because we've had a lot of time with it. And honestly, I like it a lot, but it's not my favorite from the soundtrack. Like, I should probably get this out of the way early. I love, like, every song in the soundtrack. So, like, even if something's in D tier, that doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means I like it. It's just I like it a bit less. So I'm going to make S tier, like, really special so I don't just flood it with every single song. So New Game will go into A tier. Up next, the beginning of a Happy Life. Ooh. Okay, the beginning of a Happy Life is very, like, upbeat and funky, and I like that. Like, it has, like, good style, but it's just like, we all know we're waiting for the lyric songs. Like, the instrumental songs are good, but the lyric songs are just better. Is that, like, a bad opinion? I don't know, I just like lyrics. So we are going to put that in the same tier as Wander Around Shibuya. Up next is Storm. Okay, Storm is really good, but it's as good as, like, the next one is going to be an S tier, but is Storm as good as Your Ocean? So I'll just put Your Ocean in, like, S tier. Your Ocean is S tier no matter what, but we're talking about Storm right now. And Storm is really good. It's just like, I feel like it's a solid like, A tier. Up next, Your Ocean. Up next, Kill the Itch. Okay, Kill the Itch is a banger, and I don't care whatever you think, like, this is an S tier song, which is like 2 S tiers in a row, kind of, but it's Kill the Itch. Like, this, like, entire tier list is going to be, like, very, like, top-heavy, in that basically every single, like, one of these for, like, a while will be in S tier, for, like, you'll see, like, a bunch of clumps of S tiers and will, like, go down from there. But Kill the Itch, that's so good, man. Just, like, it's so good. Like, I can't reasonably put it anywhere else. That's how good it is. So, up next, number 7, Bird in Hand. Bird in Hand is really good. It has, like, 2 different distinct parts. You have the opening part, which is the woman singing, and then you have, like, the male rapping, which is very much used in, like, a bunch of other songs. So that part actually comes from Lose Control, which was featured in, like, one of my videos, like, the Chloe Music Not in Chloe. I don't like that video. There are so many mistakes in it that I really wish I could fix, but I can't. So, like, maybe I'll remake that video. But yeah, that rap part is also used in, like, incongruous. That's how you say it. But yeah, that rap part is used in, like, 2 different songs. And I just think that's funny that Ishimoto reused, like, the same, like, rap part 3 times. 2 of which in the same game. Like, good for him. But back to Bird in Hand, like, it's really good. I have to put in that mess, like, it's just really good. Up next, number 8, Insomnia. Insomnia. You're gonna hear me say this a lot, but Insomnia is really good, but is it S tier good? Like, so far the S tier songs have had, like, a very distinct vibe to them, and that is just, like, it can be more, like, rock heavy, and that's what I like. This is my opinion. It's not like, oh yeah, this is the definitive tier list of the World View soundtrack. Nah, these are just my opinions. And I'd say Insomnia is on par with Storm. Up next, Hustle and Bustle, number 9. Hustle and Bustle is, like, really unique in this soundtrack, because there's no other songs really like it. It's much more, like, techno-y than everything else, which is more, like, rock, pop, whatever this entire soundtrack is, there's nothing quite like Hustle and Bustle, and I really like that about it. Like, this is what my main, like, pause menu music is, and so I feel like I have to put it in S tier, just because that's how much I love it. Number 10, Rockin' Rockin'. Rockin' Rockin', it's so good. I need to get a better phrase to classify them, but it's true. Rockin' Rockin', it's so, like, catchy and, like, has, like, a good rhythm to it, like, da 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 da, and it's like, it's so good, and especially, spoilers for, like, the end of the post game, but you do get to hear Rockin' Rockin' live, and I'll get to that one at the very end, but, like, it's just, like, a really good song to end on. Just Rockin' Rockin', It's like, it's really good. S tier. Number 11, Incongruous. I'm going to mispronounce that. Incongruous is the other song that has the bees rapping part. I only really can hear what they're saying like occasionally in that, but I know they say bees, I think. So I'm just going to refer to it as the bees rap. So the bees rap appears in this one again, which is like sandwiched in between like a different type of song, which it's more like screamo metal, maybe. I don't know music genres. I'm not sure if you can tell this. I am not qualified to make this list. This is just what I like. And honestly, Incongruous is... it's like a B tier, maybe. Like, screamo just doesn't typically do it for me. There is like one song in here that like is screamo that I like for particular reasons, and we'll get to that, but Incongruous, it has to go in B tier. Number 12, Breaking Free. Breaking Free. Breaking Free is one of like the 3 songs we had before the game released. Which those 3 were New Game, Your Ocean, and Breaking Free. And it's just, it goes really hard, and it's like perfection. Like, this song in particular, because I've had more time with it, and it just goes that hard, it's like one of my favorites out of the entire soundtrack. And I'll develop more favorites like as the more time I get with them, but Breaking Free right now is like definitely like, if there was an S+ tier, it'd be there purely because of the amount of like, this song means a lot to me because it was one of like the key things that proved like, yes, this game is real, there is music for it, and it has to go into S tier. And then like the ending, so good. We'll get to that later. No we won't. I'm not going to talk about it again. So say goodbye to Breaking Free and say hello to number 13, Chase. Chase is an interesting one. Like, you hear it a lot in the game, which is something, like, special. Like, you get to hear it a lot, so you get used to it. And, honestly, I'm thinking this is a B tier. I don't know why, it just feels very B tier to me, and I'm not sure, like, exactly why. Like, I like it a bit. Incongruous is, like, it has parts that I like. It has, like, the heavy rock elements that I like. And Incongruous, like, not Incongruous. And Chase has, like, the elements from, like, Insomnia and, like, Storm, which are much more, like, not heavy rock-based. They're water type, no. But, it just, I feel like I like it a bit less than, like, the A tiers. You feel me? And next up, number 14, We're Losing You. Okay, We're Losing You is very good in the context of the fights that it appears in, being, spoiler, Suzuki's. Like, you get to fight him like 3 times, 2 of which are just his normal man form. Well, kind of speak before, but, then you get to fight like his gear form. And it's really good in context of those fights because it helps like ramp up the intensity. But it's like, it falls into the same pitfall that Incongruous does, and that is very much a lot of screaming. And I like music that I can kind of like somewhat sing along to. And that I can't really sing that one very well because that's a lot of screaming. So I feel like this is our first C tier. Like, it's a good song, it's just not what I'm into. Lots of screaming, nah, not my deal. Number 15, Shibuya Survivor. Shibuya Survivor is listing off statistics of the song, and it has a really good, like, bass line, I think that's what it is, but that dun 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 dun, like that is really good, and I like it. Like, that part is just, like, it helps give the song, like, a bit more of, like, depth. And honestly, I think this is an A tier song. Like, it's good, and I like it. And it just has, like, lots of little things that I like, being, like, I can vaguely go along with it. So that will be in A tier. Number 16, Divide. Divide... I'm very conflicted on Divide, because, like, given the context of which I know it from, being, especially in, like, on the final trailer, this plays when, spoilers, Shibuya's, like, getting inverted, I believe. So, like, I just correlate this song and, like, that event very much together. I don't even know if it plays in the game, I don't remember, like, during that event, but it's just, like, it has, like, good elements, being, like, it has, I think this is an A tier song. It was either going to be A or B, and I think it's just for, like, nostalgia and, like, memories, it belongs in A tier. So I'm just gonna leave it there. 17, Last Call. So, Last Call. I really love Last Call, and it's just like, there's something about it that makes you really just want to, it makes you just want to, like, go along with it, enjoy the moment, open up your world. Pain and suffering. So, Last Call is an S tier. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's just an S tier. Like, I have read somewhere that, like, correlates along with, like, Shoka, like, her storyline, and I agree with that. Like, it's just, like, really good. Love Last Call. And speaking of Last Call, let's talk about number 18, Unconscious. Unconscious is a very divisive song in my brain. Like, it has elements that I like the chorus part, but the song itself, like the instrumentals, this is either an A or a B. Like, the start of it is okay, and the lyric, like, the chorus line is, like, the main thing. It's just not as, like, high, upbeat, energetic, like, yeah, let's do this. And, like, not every song has to be that. It's just, like, those tend to be what I, like, favor. And, honestly, is A or B? If there was, like, an A-B tier, it would go there, but there's not. And I'm not moving everything around just to have an unconscious tier. So, I feel like I'm going to put it in B tier for now. It might change, might not. Now let's talk about Unpainted. Unpainted is an interesting song, in that it has, in the context in which it plays, being, I believe, Shiva's boss fight, it's like, it fits Shiva's personality really well, because Shiva is very elegant, but also kind of crazy. That's not, like, a weird thing to say. It's true. But, yeah. So, Unpainted... Taking Unpainted in correlation with Shiva's boss fight, which is near the end of the game, I can't really, like, fully talk about without spoiling, like, the big end of the game. The big ending. So, as a song by itself, I'd say it's A tier. Number 20, World Is Yours. I definitely can't talk about this one without talking about the ending.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone in the world would do it.
World Is Yours is the final boss song, and it is a really good one at that. Like, this World Is Yours is this game's Twister, effectively ignoring the fact that we have two other versions of Twister to cover, if we're counting New Game as a version of Twister. And speaking of New Game, World Is Yours is a new game. And, like, in the context with the final boss fight, it's really good. Like, this is an S tier song. I reasonably can't put it anywhere else. Like, even if I have problems with it as a song, as like, I don't really have many problems with that song. It's just like a very good song. It helps like encompass the main theme of the game very well. It's just like really good. And speaking of other songs, number 21, Beyond Oblivion. Beyond Oblivion is like the sad boy song of this game. Like, in the previous game there were certain songs that would play during sad events. That was a lot of S sounds. And this is this game's version of it, and like, it does an okay job at making like a somber tone, but honestly, like, this is either a C or a D tier for me. Like, I think this might be our first D tier. Like, I like it, but that's about as far as I'll go. I just like it. And number 22, Hopeless. Hopeless is like the "there's no hope" song, everything is sad. It's the other sad boy song. And I like it more than Beyond Oblivion, so I think it's more of a C tier than a D. Like, we're in the rut of songs that don't have lyrics, and those will tend to be ranked lower down on my list than those that do. So, next up, 23. Disturbance. Disturbance is another C tier in my mind. Like, it's alright. Like, I like it. It's just like, it doesn't have lyrics, and it's harder to like jam out to songs that are meant to be like the mood setting pieces. Like, if we're taking account the fact that they're meant to set a mood and not compare them with like the rest of the soundtrack, they do really well at setting a mood. Like, that's their job. But when every other song is just like the Neo the World Ends With You soundtrack, these will tend to be ranked lower. So, yeah. 24, Death Roads. Death Throes is another C tier. Like, it's good at setting like an emotion, like in a tone, but that's like about all it's good for. So let's go on to A Tranquil Mind. A Tranquil Mind falls into the rut of, oh yeah, tone setting piece. Like, that's what it serves mainly. And honestly, I can appreciate these songs. It's just when you have all the other ones in context. I'm gonna put this one in D. It's good, but it's just good. And that takes us to Act the Fool. This is a unique one within like the little area we are, in that for one, it actually has lyrics, and for two, it's literally from the anime. But it's not. There's a song in the anime that is very, very similar, just doesn't have the lyrics in it. And honestly, I like this song. This is probably like an A tier. It's... yeah. I feel like I can't put this anywhere else. It belongs in A tier. But yeah, look into like the anime soundtrack, you will see a song very similar to this. I think there's like another song as well that's similar to one of the ones in Neo. But this is the one that is more noticeable for me, just got pointed out to me. And that takes us to number 27, Encounter. Okay, a lot of things happened in between those two songs. For one, the website reloaded and made all the songs on the bottom reshuffle. For two, my dog moved around a lot, so I lost like a few things. So yeah, we are going to get back to what we were doing. Encounter! It's one of the better instrumental tracks. Goes in B tier, I like it. Yeah. A lot happened. I already did this bit. Website reloading kind of wasted a lot of time. So let's get on to number 28, Peaceful Day. Peaceful Day sounds like it's trying to be the underground of Neo. And it does that kind of, it just doesn't do it as well as Underground did. And this is a C tier. Like, Underground, pretty good song. Got into the anime, I think, too. So, yeah, really good song. It's just Peaceful Day. It's a C tier. 29, Takeaway. Takeaway is the shopping music. So, like, economical shoppers of this game, and honestly, pretty good. Like, the C tiers are songs I like, and I wouldn't put it as high as B tier, so this would be like one of those C-B tier songs. Takeaway, I'm just gonna put it in C, but know that it's a high C. Like, pretty good. I like it. I have no major gripes about it. So, number 30, Little Things Japan. The Little Things are interesting, both of them. Like, they're the credit song. So, like, this game's Lullaby for You or Runaway. Runaway is a better song, by the way. I don't even want to hear it. Lullaby for You made me not get monetized on a video I wasn't even getting monetized for to begin with, so... But yeah, the Little Things, both of them, they're good, but like in comparison with like Runaway and Lullaby for You, I'd put them a bit above. Like, I'll put them Runaway for You is number 1, Little Things is number 2, Lullaby for You. So, like, Runaway is like an S tier song. And, like, yeah, I feel like these can both probably go in A tier. Which one did I grab? Oh, Little Things Japan can go in A tier. I know it's Japanese, but look, just saying Japan is very funny to me. And same for Little Things English. And now we're getting into the remix zone. So number 32, Owari Hajimari, Japan, Neo Mix. Number 32, I'm not going to say the full name, Owari Hajimari, Japan, Neo Mix. I just did. So 32, the Japanese Owari Hajimari. This like pair is very different from the original song. Like, the lyrics are there, and honestly, Owari Hajimari was more of like, it's a weird song, man. I prefer the Japanese version over the English version, and like, I like these a bit better than the originals. Like, Owari Hajimari is just a weird song in general. So, like, the issue is when comparing it with the English version, which I like them both, but I like the Japanese more. So do I put them on two separate tiers, or do I put them together? We'll find out. But I think this is like a B tier. I like it more than the original, but they're alright. I like them a bit. Yeah, they're good. So that leaves the Owari Hajimari Neo Mix, English version. So, Owari Hajimari English Neo Mix, whatever you want to call it. Lyrics are weird. I like the Japanese one better, but I still think they're on the same tier. If that's what I've decided, they're going into B tier together. And that leaves number 34, Someday Japanese Neo Mix. This next pair of songs might be a bit controversial, but I'll just get to it. Someday Neo Mix in Japanese is probably like S tier for me. It's really good. You can feel the emotion in the song, and it's just really, really good, and I love it. Like, honestly, an amazing song. But then we're going on to number 35, Someday Neo Mix English. Okay, here's where the controversy comes in. Someday Neo Mix in English is going to be an A tier and not an S tier. For some reason, normally I like the English version Someday more. Like, it's just a really good song, like, very solid all around. But then, the Japanese version of Neo Mix is really, really good. And the English version is also really good, just, I'd say, a bit less. You understand, like, it's weird, but yeah, they're going on separate tiers. Hopefully that's not too controversial. Like, these are my opinions. I'm gonna say that again because it's true. And that leads us to 36, O Parts Neo Mix. O Parts is weird because they live in Japan, like Japanese, but there's no English version, so why even label it Japanese? Were they planning on making an English version of O Parts? I don't know. But like, O Parts, whatever you want to call it, I like it. Like, it's very similar to the original, I think. They sound very similar to me, like, just based off of like what I've heard right now. And yeah, I like it. This is like an A-tier song. Then we get to 3 minutes clapping, number 37. Three minutes clapping Neo Mix is very interesting because they based off of the live version. And that they have the crowds, and typically I don't like the live versions as much as like the non-live versions. Spoilers for the end of the thing. But yeah. With the changes that they made, the original 3 minutes clapping is like an S-tier song. And I like this song a lot, I just don't like the fact that it has the crowd cheering and like the live bits. Like if that wasn't there, I'd say this would be an S tier. But I think I'm gonna have to put it in A. I really like the song, just don't like the live part. And speaking of another remix, we're in the remix zone. March On, Neo Mix. I love March On. It's like, it's such a different song. Like, it was in Final Remix and I think live, but live doesn't count because nobody's played that game. And if they did, maybe it would still be around today. But, like, can I reasonably put this anywhere else besides S tier? Like, loved March On in the original, love it here. I'm going to make sure they stay in order. Yeah, March On is an S tier. Like, in any sense, it would be an S tier, no matter what. Unless it was live. But yeah. So, I really like March On. And this remix, really good. They did good with it. And that leads us to the 1-star Neo Mix. I love the 1-star so much. Like, it's one of my favorite songs from the original game. And when I saw that I got a remix, I was so excited, and let me tell you, this did not disappoint. Like, it's so good. I love just the fact that we get more of the 1-star makes me happy. So this is an S tier, like instant S tier. You can't tell me otherwise. No deliberation. And now we're on to number 40, Make or Break Neo Mix. Would it be controversial to say Make or Break is an A-tier song? Like, I like Make or Break, and Make or Break Neo Mix is like just as good, if not maybe a bit better than Make or Break. But yeah, I'd say this is an A-tier song. Like, pretty solid all around, like, really good. Love Make or Break. And that leads us into Revelation JP. Neo Mix. Number 41. Let's go. Final 10. Revelation is a really good song. So, like, this remix, don't really have any complaints with it. Really good all around, like both this and the English version. The question is, are they S tier or A tier? Like, wherever one goes, the other one will also go. Like, these two are a pair, even though they are not paired together on the soundtrack. Like, there's like, this one's number 41, but the English version is number, like, 44. So, I'd say these are S tier. I'll just do like a little blurb for whenever I get to it again. But we'll get to English version. Number 42, Hybrid, Japan, Neo Mix. Hybrid is a good song, like really good, loved it in the original, and the Neo Mix, also really good. So, I'd say Hybrid is an A tier song. Like, in general, Hybrid, A tier. The Neo Mix Hybrid, I'd say, falls into the same area. So, we'll put that there. And up next, number 43, Hybrid Neo Mix Non-Japanese English. It's the same deal with Hybrid English. Like, number 43, it goes right next to 42. Same deal, good song, still a really good song in Neo. No real gripes there. Yeah. Let's move on to number 44. Revelation, as I alluded to before, it's going up with its other half. Really good song, love it. Yeah, like, not much to say about it, just solid. I've already talked about it. And that leads us to Jump Over Yourself Neo Mix. Jump Over Yourself. Still good. Not much to say about it. Like, very similar to the original, I think. Again, like, it's not drastically different to a point where it's like, whoa, is that, like, a new remix? That, like, my mind doesn't immediately jump to it. It's like, yep, this is Jump Over Yourself, which is still a really good song. And so it's either A or S tier. And honestly, I'll put it in A tier. Like, this is an SA tier again. Did I bring that up before? No. New tier to add. So, that leads us to number 46, Scramble. It's just Shadow. You know Shadow from the first game, kind of, and Final Remix. They added a song called Shadow. I think it was from Live Remix again. We don't talk about Live because it never existed. So, Shadow, really good song. It was my menu music for Final Remix. And this is just Shadow in English with a different name for some reason because they didn't want to call it anything else. They're just like, oh yeah, this is Shadow Scramble. It's like, we know it's Shadow. It's from the first game, we can't hide it from us. And this song, one of my favorites, personally. I just think it's weird how they gave it a new name. It's an S tier. And that leads us to Calling Neo Mix. I hear the calling, and it says, this song, still really good. I love Calling. It's back. New form. Can't really complain. So, S tier. Twister Neo Mix. It's Twister again. Everybody needs a new remix of Twister. And guess what? Still really good. Maybe. At what point will anyone get tired of Twister? Like, Twister burnout has to be real. There's like probably over 20 remixes of the same song. But Twister Neo Mix, one of the better ones. So I'm going to put that in S tier, where it belongs. And speaking of S tier, Transformation Neo Mix. So, before we get to ranking it, quick aside about Transformation. On my Discord server, Brainy Cat Cafe, which is World View Discord server, pretty neat. You don't have to join, but you can join if you want. Link is always in the description. We get a tournament for the music in the World View. And the winner of that tournament was Transformation. And you can't blame them. Transformation is a banger every time. No matter what form, it's always like a winner. And the fact that it plays whenever you meet show is just amazing, and I love it. And I love Transformation, and I love this remix. It's going in S tier. And then we get to number 50, Twister. It's literally just the original form of Twister. And I like how it's like, ah yeah, here's Twister. And it's like, wait a minute, that's just the original version. We have the new one. We have Twister at home. Why do we need to bring this one back? And so it's just the original Twister. And I'm not sure if I should like rank it as like a new song or just the fact that it's the original Twister and there's nothing new about it compared to like every other song in here which is new or has like something different. And just because it's the original song, like I love Twister in its original state, but just because there's nothing new about it, I feel like I have to put it in D tier because it's literally just the original song in the new game, which is very funny to me personally. Like, it's just funny. Like, they put the original version of Twister in the game. Yeah, D tier. Love you, Twister, but we already have Twister at home. That's just the mean pick. If I was to actually put it somewhere, probably be S tier. But guess what? We're not ranking the original World War soundtrack. This is the Neo version. We'll do the original soundtrack later, but there's like 100 songs in that, counting all the final remix ones. So we're going to not do that now. And move on to number 51, Rockin' live version. And what a better way to end the tier list than with Rockin'. Because it ends the game, kind of. I brought it up before, so it's not a spoiler. Rockin' live version, it's good, I like it. But compared to the actual non-live version, still pretty good. Honestly, this is like a live version I'm okay with. Unlike a certain Twister crossover. I hate you, Twister crossover live version. I know that power's yet unknown, you don't have to repeat it 50,000 times. So, we'll talk about Twister crossover another day. But we are talking about Rockin' live version. And honestly, I thought, at the beginning of this list, I thought I was going to put it in A tier. Like, it's a live version, but it's a good live version. Like, the crowd doesn't get in the way that much. It's a good way to wrap up the list. And with that, the tier list is done. I can finally go back to doing what I was doing before this, which was playing Neo The World Ends With You. Because I might not be able to actually record footage of it without it being ugly, but I sure can play it and get all that juicy, like, information in me so I can then poorly animate it in 5 years. So, with that, I bid you adieu.